Hmm. Hello, and what's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA Impact Wrestling review, which there's a lot of information I want to speak on. First off, number one, I will be watching the Ring of Honor pay-per-view tonight, the 15th anniversary, since, the Hardys have something to, they're in this thing also for the show, and a tag team match. It's going to be a lot going down, so most likely I am planning on buying the pay-per-view and watching the show on the whole Fight app thing that that has both ROH and TNA. But let's get to the most important parts, which I got a lot to speak on through this whole review. Number one, we kicked off the show for TNA or Impact Wrestling as they pretty much show a montage of all the logos and wrestlers that have been here over the years as they keep doing this thing called "We All Make Impact Great" and everything, or "Make Impact Great." They don't want to say again, but because I'm sure I know why, since we know that slogan kind of pertains to. But yes, TNA pretty much opened with Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards brawling with each other in the bleachers. Security had broke them up. There's Josh Matthews in the Pope. Talked about the new management, which they had a whole new set, which everything at least looked a little bit better production-wise. But they questioned why there was a third headset, which JB came out, Jeremy Borash, as he came out, and Josh Matthews didn't want him out here, but Jimmy Borash took the microphone, talked about the new management. He was excited to be on commentary. He says one day this chair is mine because he's learned from Mike Tenay throughout over the years. With Borash, he also spoke about how people are pissed at Josh Matthews, people called him boring, and Borash pretty much said Mike Tenay sat in his chair for 12 years, and he took him under his wing and passed him the baton someday. Borash said that, someone was fired from WWE, which was, Josh Matthews. He no longer worked for that company. And he's not a model announcer. As Josh Matthews pretty much went to tell Jim Borash, I've sat with Jim Ross, okay, and called WrestleMania. I've done this with over 80,000 people. Now it's just the Impact Zone where fans come for free and everything. And JB pretty much went on to say that, JR is my friend and Ross thinks Matthews is a prick and everything, which I've seen them at Twitter Wars before, but JB talked about, this chair, we have to have respect for this industry and the fans and stuff. But as when they were talking and pretty much, talking about each other, this is going to be a lot throughout the night, Cody Rhodes showed up with his wife, Brandy, and pretty much Cody said, they could start the show, which he had a title in his hand, which some believe that is the next gen title from Global Force Wrestling. Cody says he wanted to face Moose, but Moose is in Japan since, TNA and Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan have a partnership together, so Moose is out there. And Cody kept calling, where is Moose, huh? Where is Moose? I run the show and everything. So, they had a new opening intro also, but Cody, he pretty much had that belt with him, the next gen title, which we will see throughout tonight. But as we kicked off the show, new tag team Reno Scum, which they are the future stars of wrestling tag team champions right now, in a different company in Vegas. They win against DCC, Kingston, and Bram, which Reno Scum got the win. Not much to say and stuff from those guys, because I don't know a lot about Reno Scum. I heard they were a great team on the Indies, and I heard a little about them, but I don't know them that much, and I know they're from Global Force, so we'll see how this goes. The only problem with this match was the commentary team, mostly Josh Matthews and JB, arguing with each other and not paying attention to the match, as they was just talk about each other most of the time. So, yeah, and I guess DCC looks like they're breaking up. They may have hugged it out, but they may break up soon, which they really need because this group is not going nowhere, and James Storm and Bram need to be singles wrestlers again. Mackenzie Mitchell talked about she's hoping to do an interview with Maria, but CNN said that Maria is not here because of a nervous breakdown, which we all know the truth, which they need to find a way to write out Maria and Mike Bennett. So instead of acting like they never existed, they pretty much explained that, she had a nervous breakdown, and she says, CNN says she's going after Allie. As we kicked off with the X Division match, which hopefully we get more singles matches because we're getting tired of the multi-man spot fest between Braxton Sutter, Marshe Rocket, Caleb Conley, and DJ Z in a four-way, which was high action stuff too, but Sutter got the win over Marshe Rocket. The Hardys, which I am actually somewhat surprised to say this right now, which they were still doing their thing in the Expedition of Gold. But they were going to, Matt Hardy pretty much says that, which I'm very surprised to see, because he's going to be on this pay-per-view tonight too, for Ring of Honor, so it was actually surprising to see him, since we all know what show he'll be on, and company he's part of right now. But they showed footage of that is Jeff and Matt were going to go against Smoking Joe Frazier, the Kangaroo, which was really an awesome segment, but I'll get in that in a minute. Rachel Ellering, Paul Elling's daughter, went against Sienna. Sienna won, but once again, the announcers are someone's kind of getting under the notches, arguing with each other. Bruce Pritchard came out and talked about his podcast and his website, but I'm not here to talk about it. He talked about Impact Wrestling that he remembers. And he talked about long ago backstage, we were great and everything, and people said, we got a lot of greatness, but said it didn't happen, though. We were so close, but it didn't happen. And he talked about that TNA is dead, which it's kind of odd to say TNA is dead, because people are still going to chant TNA. If some match is really great, they're going to chant TNA, TNA, TNA. And the type no one's going to chant Impact Wrestling, alright? They're not. I get it, and they said this a lot since 2012, but at the end of the day, it's still TNA. Which I know they want to move away from the name and everything, but I'm still going to keep calling it that, because come on, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion is the TNA title. But, he pretty much went on to say that the owners, he said new owners, they want to look for greatness and everything. And he says he's achieved greatness. He talked about being there when Hulk Hogan was around, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena. And he wants to make wrestling great. And he says he knows sure how to make an impact, he says. There's Pritchard, pretty much, so let's start with the face of the company. He talked about Bobby Lashley. He's a walking Armageddon and everything. As Lashley came out and shook his hand that, he's the world champion, the TNA World Champion, I'm not going to say Impact World Champion. And he thanked Pritchard about his greatness, He talked about all the people he defeated, from Eddie Edwards, Drew Galloway, Jeff Hardy, so on and so on. And defending the President of the United States, which probably will get some heat for that one, however you want to take it. But Pritchard said he had no choice but, he said people who have no choice to recognize Lashley's greatness because no one can defeat him. Until Alberto El Patron came out. Listen, I didn't read any spoilers, so I stayed away as much as I could. And unfortunately, I heard his reaction didn't go well because of poorly mic. I don't know. This said there were technical difficulties. So what I hear from the Impact Zone, the people that are actually there, he got a tremendous, huge pop, which came in later on because it didn't come out when it happened. And he said, "Shut your mouth, Pero," until EC3 came out. And he wants to earn his title. You got to earn your title shot. And I've been carrying his company's back, symmetrical back, for 3 years. And he challenged Lashley to a match, but Lashley said, "I've beaten you week after week." And then he talked to Patron, but I haven't beaten you yet. And Patron pretty much told him, EC3, so we do a triple threat then. Let's do this thing. But Pritchard said, you guys want to fight, and people chanted CCC for Patron. I can't say Del Rio, so then we talked about that too. And EC3 looked confused in the way how that's gonna happen, since I guess they are doing so with EC3 now. I guess somewhat to get a title shot, but to what like I said, for the crowd, they were supposed to be more hyped for Del Rio. Patron. I just heard it was bad mic work or sound or whatever it was out there. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of that one, but it's a lot to do with that. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Eddie Edwards in the back, as he never expected Davey Richards to do this. He said he was his brother until Angelina Love showed up, and so why are you bad mouthing my husband? You didn't call him when he was hurt. You didn't call him when she was pregnant. And she said fans forgot about Richards, and people, and so did Eddie forgot about him until Angelina Love slapped him, and Eddie pretty much said it's kind of weird that his wife hits harder than he does. And once again, as the show came back on, Cody, he showed up again, walking around looking for Moose. Where's Moose? Where's the Stooge? He had his next gen title with him. And he says, "Where's that big dumbass?" He says, and he wants to know where Moose was. But once again, he's in Japan. Bobby Lashley video package. They showed about him wanting people to face. Dirty Dutch Mantel came out. He was going to say Zeb Coulter, but he said he's going to say that the illegals. But he talked about Impact Wrestling when he was here before. Pro wrestling has made a lot for him. It's done a lot for him. and that TNA, there's been name change and everything. They want to help make Impact great. And he talked about, his picture speaks 1,000 words. He came here 8 years ago, and he talked about people like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Sting, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Christian, Booker T, and so on and so on. And they're here, but they slowly drifted away. And it's because of leadership, it was because of management, vision, respect. There's a lot of people that have, a lot of reasons why TNA hasn't really been great before. One is because of Dixie Carter and how she has somewhat almost destroyed this company. That is one reason. But he says he's doing this for the fans. He wants to get the fans back. TNA, we want to rise again. And he promises them he will make it great again. So, I don't know. So, it's a lot of things when it has to do with new ownership and everything. Everybody knows new ownership. Listen, TNA has somewhat rebranded itself almost 3-4 times. Yeah. That's something. But like I said, you don't want, like I said, ownership can mean a lot of things. And I don't know about what the new management. There's been a lot said. We know about the contracts. I don't know what's Anthem's intentions. If Anthem was smart, they hired Bill Corgan back and Dave Lagana. But I don't know. I don't think they will ever show who the new owners are on TV. And surprisingly, we went back to the Hardys, like I said, to fight the Kangaroo. As Matt said, we were ready to do Expedition of Gold until the teleporting thing happened again. And when they teleported, which we wanted to see the Expedition of Gold, and Matt Hardy had went on Twitter and put out the real footage of it. It showed the K back at the Impact Zone saying they had the tag titles, and it said the Hardys were deleted then. As a bit said, it worked. And it's something had to be explained here. And I know people are going to play a lot. This can be anything right now. I don't know what to say about this all Hardy and TNA and Ring of Honor thing at this point. Listen, did the Hardys need to be written out of TV one way or another? Yes, they did. But the fact that the teleporter got messed up and now they went to Decay and now they have the belts, which I don't really know how this is going. Alright, it's weird. I don't really know how to put this out in a way, but I don't know. And everything. So I don't know. But here's the thing with people putting this, and I'll say this right here with the Hardys, okay? They technically are still the official tag team, or TNA tag team champions, and whatever title they hold. Since the footage was supposed to be them winning the Omega tag team titles, and I guess they had to figure out a way to write it. I know that Hardy's going to do the honorable thing, really, but I guess something happened, a different idea. I don't know. And maybe this is something, because people need to, I guess, want to wonder, like, the Hardys could, I don't know, they'll come back in that, but I remember they never lost the tag team title, so they're still the official ones, really. So I don't know. This is this set of takings right now. I don't know what's going to happen in the next set of takings. I don't know what's going to happen with Ring of Honor, how long they'll be here and everything. First thing, I don't really want them to go back to WWE because I feel like they'll ruin the broken gimmick and stuff. I really don't want that to happen. So Hardy's on a roll right now. I'm going to get to the whole Ready thing at the end of this review, but it's a lot of ways we can play onto this whole Hardy thing and stuff. But as I continue to show, JB announced Slammiversary coming in July on pay-per-view. Lashley went against Alberto El Patron, which was actually a really good match. But we went back to the ref bump finishes. as one ref came out, then another ref came out, and as the match went on, the referee could actually really see Patron hitting Lashley with the title, but Patron became the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and he got on top of the table and started to, celebrating everything. But as referees tried to come out and debate who won the title, then Bruce Pritchard and other management came out, and Patron said he's the champion. EC3 pretty much clapped as he looked on, wondering what's going to happen. Which he'll probably give the title next week, most likely, since they're probably going to go out of footage and 2-3 referees and stuff. So that's what's going to happen. Was it a crazy way to start off this new era, I guess, again? To the show, yeah, it really was. And let me say this about the whole Rebby rant real quick. Listen, I don't even know who's telling the truth at this point. See, this is what I've read from her, is that the Hardys are being sued over the broken gimmick, which, if that is true, TNA is really petty, or the Anthem Owls or whatever are very petty over this. If number one, you're gonna sue them for a gimmick that you didn't make up, because listen, which I find it weird enough that Rebby was already talking for both Matt and Jeff, really, because even I said, do we really need to put all this personal information out there? But if they're the ones allegedly getting sued, I guess they can't say nothing. And Matt hasn't really said anything bad about TNA. Like, he still respects the wrestlers, he still respects some management, I assume, Matt, and everything. But I don't know, Matt Hardy can play a lot of rules with you on Twitter, so you'll never know what he says, because this broken gimmick is so big. We don't know. And that's for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view tonight. I can see a lot of FTNA chants right now because of what we saw here with one mostly Rebby's rant can play into this thing, because they said she runs for F them, F Ed Northam, and about the numerous issues, and they're going back to the whole pay thing, which we've heard that multiple times, and that Matt, and then they wouldn't breach their Matt's contract once, whatever. But Matt, and I feel bad for Matt and Jeff Hardy, because Matt and Jeff really wanted to help TNA again. And people, allegedly, she said that when they showed the video package of TNA's history, there was no video mention of Jeff Hardy. But then again, Bobby Lashley didn't mention Jeff Hardy, and we did see Kurt Angle in the video. I did see Jeff Hardy too. He was jumping off a ladder, and I saw Kurt Angle doing the headbutt and everything. So I don't know what she was talking about on that one, but yeah. But then she's talking about all these texts and the TV tapings when she gave birth, and that the Hardys financed the highest 3 rated TV segments. And I don't know if they're trying to sue Cena Benjamin too, but I'm not sure about that. So, anyway, I don't know who to believe. And some people try to say, is this a work? I don't think if this was really a work, I'll admit this right now. The Hardys had me freaking fooled. Everybody had me fooled. And TNA, Jeff, Matt, and Ring of Honor, they all would have had me fooled then if that were true. But they don't, Ring of Honor owes them nothing. And not Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor, TNA, that the Hardys owe, they don't owe TNA nothing. They didn't come up with that gimmick or anything. So I don't know. And she's talking about all these drunk texts. I don't know how to take Rebby sometimes, because come on, Rebby ain't the best person to take it from, alright? So I don't know. A lot of people are not really big fans of her in the business, if you want to look that up. So I don't know. She's done some things, not respect wrestlers in the back, and she's one of the reasons why Awesome Kong got fired the second time, which was kind of dumb also. So it's a lot that can be said from this, really. Alright, it's a lot that can be said, and you can take it how you want, but it's just so much going around with this. Like, it's insane. And after reading this whole Twitter thing I read today, is crazy also. And TNA can say they want to Impact great again and whatever. Listen, you guys are actually great last year, alright, like creative wise. Now as for the ownership and leadership and owner and financial thing, that was, unfortunately, that was more of the story than not focusing on wrestling. But just reading this thing, and I'll say TNA does sound petty if they really are trying to sue the Hardys. Like, that's petty. That really is petty. But it is worth the read, alright? And they don't own the ownership of the Broken Universe, TNA, the Hardys. Did I know JB helped do some things? JB was a help to it. Whoever got it produced it. Maybe Billy Corgan and Dave Lagana was helped do it. But if Senior Benjamin was never under contract and never paid, don't come to Senior Benjamin if that's true. All right. So it's just sad what happened. Listen, personally, I was disappointed with when the Hardys left TNA. I was disappointed. I really was. And it's not disappointed in them. I just wish they would have were there, just because I just, man, the segments were just great. It's a shame we don't even see no more Expedition of Gold. I was enjoying them. Come on, I enjoyed the Leader of Decay and whatever crazy thing they did every week. But I don't know what's gonna happen next. All right, Dutch talks about respecting the talent, but it does make the management look petty. I'm not going against the wrestlers, other people, but whoever's like the bigger management, it makes them look petty. If I were them, they should drop the case right now. But I don't know. I don't really. It doesn't need to get this fire going to the courts and all that stuff. But I don't know. Maybe stuff will be said on Ring of Honor tonight. I don't know what's gonna happen. Right? I have no idea. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna work. But all we can do is find out and really see what happens with this. That's all I can say about it. I can't change anything, but this whole Hardy and TNA situation, and unfortunately, we lost people like Bennett and Rhea and Galloway and Jade, but those are some tough, very tough hits. But that's my review. I'm most likely be doing a lot of reactions to this. I'm out of here. Peace.